Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coach's Corner. I am Lukas Nowatkowski, and today we are tackling a topic that hits close to home for anyone who loves data but hates a blow-up hole: the mental game. In my world of tech and cybersecurity, adaptability isn't just nice to have, it's a survival skill. Today, we are looking at that same adaptability is the secret source for your scorecard. To help me break this down, I have two heavy hitters with me today. First, a man who has been a PGA teaching professional since 2001, and he is the visionary behind the AI tech we're building at WatchItGolf. My co-host, Patrick Horsten Nielsen. And our special guest today is a man who specialized in the science of performance. He is a vice president of strategic partnership at Mental Edge Golf, and he's here to show us visualization and emotional control are the most unanalyzed tools inside your bag. Please welcome to the corner, Jared Beisel. Jared, thanks for joining us. Mental coaching is something in the golf, right, industry. But in most cases, people are always thinking about the physical game, how to improve the game, how to touch the club, how to kill the ball in somehow, right? But nobody thinking at the beginning, in most cases, average players, they're not thinking about the mental game. And how was in your life, and maybe Patrick, you will share with us, with your life, your young life, right? How you've started with mental coaching as well. Then Jared, please. You are first.
Okay, yeah. I mean, for me, I guess I'll give you guys the intro for the fans here watching around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, mental game is probably the most under talked about, underutilized, and it's one of the most important pieces of any sport. I don't want to go too deep into a placebo effect, but visualization has been shown to work across a multitude of platforms. And with Mental Edge Golf, how it was created was it was created for PTSD. War veterans essentially in the United States. And really what the platform was meant to do is make you feel better, make you feel calmer, and help you enjoy the game more. And, that usually leads to lower scores, right? So there's a component of skill to it as well. So, but yeah, my background, I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's freezing here 8 months out of the year. It's getting a little warmer though, which is nice. I've been blessed with some October golf once in a while. And it's funny, you think about October golf, the best round I ever played was in October. And it's at a home course here in Edmonton. and I was -3 on the back. I started on the back, and that's the easiest part of. And there's a drivable par 4 on the first hole. And it's about 300 yards. So I drive it to the front. Great drive. I'm playing outstanding. To preface this, I'm about a 6 handicap. So I'm not bad at golf, but I'm not a stud. So, and I drive one and I 3 putt. And so I'm still 3 under. I drive, and number 2 is a drivable par 4. It's an easy course. It's about 280. Drive it to the front. Chip on. I have a 6-footer. I miss. Tap in for par. I'm thinking I just blew 2 birdie opportunities, and there's a 180 par 3, and I bladed into the forest, and I'm trapped against a tree. I could have taken a drop, but I'm a hothead, so I'm going to get up and down from here. I'm going to roll it through the
Only
bunker,
weak
make it
people, only weak people, Jared, getting the free drop.
Exactly, yes. And I thought about using my foot wedge, but I was like, I'm going to be mature about this. I'm not going to use the foot wedge. I'm going to get out of this. I proceed to quad. I made a 7, and I never recovered. I shot 80, and there was a few easy holes. I, lack of a better word, pissed away, and that's kind of when I kind of clicked. I just really lost focus on that long par 3. It's about 190, and I think I hit like a 6 iron, just trying to hit it to the front. And I just, something in my head was like, this is your chance. You're going to break par. This is it for you. You're finally going to do it. And I've never come close to breaking par ever again. But if I just would have concentrated and plodded around, I think I could have done a little bit more. Really, when we took this project on, it was about 6 months ago. Me and my friend Connor, who's also involved, we just said, no one talks about the mental game that much. But I would say it's arguably, when you're an established player, when you have a base swing, it's very, very, very important to train. So it's become a passion for me, to be honest. But it's a passion in life as well. And with Mental Edge Golf, you're getting golf related meditations with science underneath it to help you feel better and more calm. So for me, my presence has increased. My meditations have gotten better. My mental health's better. My golf game's better. Everything just feels lighter. You feel looser when you're training this every day. And that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, of course we will talk about the meditation and how it look like after, and of course because a lot of players are always smiling if you are talking about the meditation, and of course in my mind something is embarrassing them a little, right? Because why you should meditate, why you should be preparing that way before you play. But what was on your side, Patrick? Because you've played a lot, right, in the past, and
Yeah.
you were like me a little. You wasn't like me or not.
Yeah, I think I was afraid on the golf course actually, most of the times when the scores got lower and lower during the round, and you might see, oh wow, I shoot. If I continue this, I might shoot in the high 60s or even in the mid 60s. And then suddenly everything locks up, and you're starting to get afraid of certain shots, and you see the water on the left, you see the out of bounds on the right. You forget about everything. Your routines goes down the drain and so on. And if you're not prepared for it, you have no chance to get out of it in a fast way.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I want to ask you then in my mind the 300 yards drive is not a big deal, right? If you think about the shot you've never made even. That's in my opinion the secret thing, right? And you are talking about mid 60, and then the chip is really hard.
Yeah, exactly. And in one way, if you have a routine, are able to stick to your routine, it's getting a little bit easier. But sometimes the mind keeps playing tricks on you, and you forget about where you are on the golf course, and how actually what you're doing there. You're thinking in the past all the time, and thinking in the future. and you're not present over that particular shot. So yeah, that's my experience of it, and mental practice is a really, really great thing. But you need to have a tool for it and continue to do it all the time.
Yeah, for me it's a little like a war. Maybe this word is not a correct way today, but of course, how we can improve this yard, right? Because this is really hard to understand how to fight with yourself inside. Jared, and how you improve it, right? How you cover those problems in your mind?
For me, I mean, having a reset is great. Even in our program, we have, minute 30 long resets. You're walking to your ball, you can kind of put a little track on. Because, like, lots of guys, like, it depends who you are. If you're talking about, a guy in the tour compared to a guy who just gets drunk on the weekend that wants to golf, I don't think this program is for you. But for everybody else that, loves the game and takes it fairly seriously, I think having that little mental reset is important because it doesn't just pertain to golf. You could be playing poker and it's called going on tilt. It's the same thing. It's a mental block. You get a bad beat, you get a bad hand, and you're like, you know what, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go all in. There's no thought behind it. It's just the same as golf. It's like what's that movie, Tin Cup? The guy's like, I'm hitting it from 260.
Yeah,
I'm hitting 3-wood. I'm hitting on the greens. He ends up, dropping 10, 15 balls down, right? It's the same thing. And I see it on the PJ Tour all the time. I see it with my friends who are 30 handicaps. It's the same thing. But for me, it just comes down to presence. That's really what this comes down to is it's okay that you're going to make a 6 because I've made 6, 6, 6. No, I didn't mean to say the devil's language there, and then I'd make a 2 and all of a sudden the round's back on for me. And
yeah.
I remember just playing again. This is just in my own personal experience. I made double on the first hole, triple on the next, and these are all drivable par 4s. A lot of drivable par 4s in Edmonton. And I drove a green on the third, 3 holes in a row, 300-yard holes, and I end up chipping in for eagle. And it was one of my favorite rounds ever. I thought about withdrawing after 2 holes. I used to withdraw, you guys. I would pay the $80 to play, and I'd withdraw after 6 holes. That's how big of a hothead I was. I was like Sergio Garcia in 2019. I'd make holes in the greens, clubs in the tree. I'd, whack the sand around, swear, everything. It was crazy. And then, just through my own practice, just got better and quit acting like that. And now it's been my purpose to kind of train this and give the tool to the world because it's important. It'll not only make you a better golfer, make you a better person. And I think that's really what is important. So.
Yeah, and also I think one thing that we could discuss is when you start playing bad on the course, you're always thinking about the next shot, even from when it ends up in the rough or fairway. When you're walking to the next shot, you're thinking about the club choice, the distance, and everything. You're so focused on the next shot for maybe 5 minutes before you're actually going to do it. And that also takes a lot of brain power from you, and you get tired and you take bad decisions and stuff like that. So I think going back to having a great routine in the beginning, but also practice on your mental side so you can focus when you need it and unfocus when you need it and think about other things. And because I would say most of the golfers never look around on a hole when they're playing bad and look at the birds or the trees or whatever. They are just in a tunnel and just stayed in that tunnel, and that's a big problem because they never will get out of there.
Yeah, but how you can do this, right? This is not an easy way. Then because you are frustrating, you have to kill someone. Of course, the ball was the secret way, his secret weapon. And if you stay at the ball during your last putt and thinking about this will be my double bogey, this will be my double bogey, 5 feet, and of course 3 putt goes and and triple bogey, right? And
yeah, I always had in my bag, in my ball pockets, I have a little note. It's
Yeah,
just
those things
golf,
can help though, Patrick.
and that
You know,
actually
like
helped me
that's
a little bit.
important, and you
Yeah,
nailed it. When you're feeling, but you
because
could
you
say
need.
that about anything in life. You know,
Yeah,
when you don't have much, you know, you don't have much money in your wallet, or your girlfriend, you know, doesn't like you as much as she used
yeah,
to. The music doesn't sound as good. The golf's not as fun. The bird chirping's pissing you off instead of beautifully spreading his music on the course. You know, everything is hurts.
yeah,
But being present, I'm telling you guys, if it, just in my opinion, is the number one
yeah,
most important thing you can possibly do, for a multitude of different reasons. And if we're just talking golf, um, that concentration is very important, because just like me when I was in the forest, I could have took a drop. The pin was at the front. I could have probably chipped it on and made a double. I'm still -1, but I took a quad, and it affected my next it affected my next 6 holes greatly affected
yeah,
my 6 holes. And you know, I'm an amateur, but it goes for the professionals too. You see it all the time in the professional game.
yeah.
You know, there's guys. I'll give you a quick example. I'm watching the Sony Open.
Oh, yeah,
You know, it was the first tournament of the year in the PJ Tour, and I really like this kid, Matt McCarty. His name is. He's a lefty, and he was a middling guy, 60 to 1, and he was -6
Mhm.
midway through the second round, and he was one of the tournament favorites at that point. And he made a really bad 3 putt on 8. He had a 9-footer for birdie, 3-putt bogey from there, and it crushed him. He proceeded to double the par 5/9, was the easiest hole in the course, and he proceeded to bogey the next 5 holes, and he made the cut by 1 shot and finished 60th. I think if he birdies 8 and
yeah,
birdies 9, you might have saw him maybe get his first PGA Tour win. I'm not going to say he was. It was a weak field, of course, but you could give an example through anything, you know, and it's not just us amateurs making mistakes. It's the
yeah,
professionals as
yeah,
well. So it's again, it's very underrated, the importance.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but Jared, can't you tell us a little bit about your programming system, how it
Yeah.
works, and
So
how you
yeah,
can
it
work
was
with
it was
with the
created
program and
as
everything?
originally for calming down veterans with PTSD, make them feel better, and golf was you know, a way to yeah, get them to feel better, but also adding on this program. So we ended up working with a company called Newcom, and they created a binaural beats underneath the songs and the voice. It's you'll hear it in our tracks, and it'll sound like bu- 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 bu. And it's just designed to get your brain in a calm rhythm. There's different binaural beats without getting too sciencey, but um, you know, any brainwave state from theta to alpha to gamma to beta to delta, we've put it all into these tracks, and what they're designed to do is, yeah, help you feel calm, but they're all predicated towards golf. So you'll see when you open up the app, you'll have you know, off the tee, you'll have, you know, a bad lie in the rough, you'll have bunker play, you'll have short putts, you'll have leg putts. All the videos are predicated towards the game of golf. And if you struggle at one, for me, I'm like Lucas Glover. I'm a good ball striker, but I'm a bad putter. So what do? I put the putting tracks on, because that's what I usually struggle with. I don't get nervous over the tee shots. I don't get really nervous over the approach on the water or anything like that. It's more
Mm.
of the scoring opportunity. So when I do have a chance at a birdie, that's when I start to get nervous. And so I put that track on the most out of them all. We've seen results in 45 seconds with the science behind the beat. So for me, I do a 5 minuter before my round. You feel nice and good. The birds sound good. They're not annoying you. Everything's good. Grass smells good. And you feel good. And sometimes when you do lose concentration, we have the mental reset portion of the app as well. So, you know, if you're not feeling it that day, put it on. If you're walking, you can put it on in your bag and just concentrate on it. Be present on that and breathe through it. And yeah, there's little presets within the app as well. And then we also have an advanced section too. So the advanced section is going to be for people that have been really working on the 5 minutes and they want something a little longer. Maybe you're driving to the course that day, 15, 20 minutes. You put it on, and whatever you're struggling with, you just try and concentrate about your golf game, and just let the beat come to you. And it's shown quite good results. So it's not a new science. This is yeah, it's not new science. It's actually the technology is not anything crazy new, other than the new patented beats, because they've worked with Jordan Spieth and the Chicago Blackhawks and all these lots of championship teams, lots of great golfers involved in it too. So, but it's easy. This is not a 8-month program where you're working on all sorts of different facets. This is a quick fix to feeling better and playing better. It's really what it comes down to. And we've seen with the attention span in the world, between the phones and the TikTok and the doom scrolling, as the kids would say, 5 minutes is more than enough to feel better and get a result. And if you want to graduate to what's called the CVR series, you could absolutely do it. That's our goal. Really, that's our goal, to get people to that point. So yeah. Nope.
Yeah,
Sounds really good.
Sometimes, but sometimes for me it's quite strange if we continues. When I know, maybe it will be a stupid question, but I know there is no stupid questions.
Are you saying when do you notice it, or when are you sure that you've lost?
I can be sure that my concentration lost.
Okay, I'll use myself because I know myself the best. For me, again, when I was standing over that ball, I had racing thoughts.
When I'm sure that I'm lost.
On the 10th hole, I knew I was going to drive the green. It was simple. I was in rhythm. I wasn't thinking of anything. I wasn't really talking to my buddy. I was just going up there, same routine, blasting it down there. It was a flow state. When I was on that third tee box, I was thinking, what am I going to eat after this? What if I blade this? What if, my girlfriend asked how I did, and I told her I shot, 80 instead of 70, and she's going to dump me? Like all these, it's like if we went and sat down on my couch, and there's just silence, and we sit there. You're going to have a thought about that bad investment you made. I don't feel good. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. And then all of a sudden, these cloud of thoughts comes into your brain. And instead of going through that shot you've practiced your whole life, that 6-iron shot to hit front of the green, you're like, what? I don't even know what I'm doing up here. And then you don't reload, you don't step off, you just go and swing it, and then you blade it into the forest. Now your round's ruined. I never break par. So it's, when you're present, and if you're not thinking about anything, it means you're present. If you're racing thoughts, it means you're not present. And that's, for me, that's why I like that little reset within the track, because you can say to yourself, I'm no longer present. I have racing thoughts, and what I like to do is step off. I like to step off, take a couple deep breaths, and there's resets in there. There's a pull the shirt or touch the elbow. It's all in the training tracks, and it's definitely helped me in my game. So I think that's kind of how something's off, and that's when you start to blade it into the forest like I did. So.
Okay, guys, I'm taking the moment for commercials. I want to take a moment to talk about the tools that make this podcast and the data analysis you hear every week possible. We spend so much time on the PXE is the fastest, most effective way to connect with your coach. You can film your swing right inside the app, get instant feedback, and even chat with your coach about a specific shot you just hit, all in real time over the internet. It's how to get the professional analysis and advice from anywhere in the world right when you need it. And for the professional coaches out there, they're PXC, the Player Experience Coach. We know you are passionate about golf, but you need to grow your business and make a living from your experience. PXC is the platform that helps you to do that. It allows you to manage students from all over the world, analyze their data and video remotely, and show them exactly what they need to work on. You can share drills, provide feedback, and communicate seamlessly with all your players, turning your knowledge into a scalable business. You can make more money by helping more players and while providing a higher level of service. Wherever you are a player looking for a competitive edge or a coach ready to modernize your business, the WatchItGolf app are the future of golf instruction. And for now, they are exclusively available for iOS users. Of course, Android coming soon. So if you're an iPhone or iPad user, head over the App Store and download WatchItGolf PXE and WatchItGolf PXC to start your data-driven journey to bear golf and bear coaching businesses. On the screen, you see the link where you can register as a coach in WatchItGolf Academy, and QR code provides you the link to our application you can download and get your golf performance possibility bear. Take care and have a nice day. See ya. And last time we've spoke about the Tom Barnett. I think about the being present, right?
Yeah.
Because it is always for me a big thing, right? To know them in present. Because, okay, when I think where I will be in the next few seconds, there is not a present, right? But it is stupid question sometimes. Then you put inside your mind, okay, but now I have to create a good shot to be prepared for the next one, and of course after this you dropped your club in the bad way, and of course you dig it like a mole, not hitting the ball, and what's happened, right? Then you are trying to be frustrating and how to switch in blink of eye to the right path. This is for me the most important question and about the mental training thinking.
The reason he's not good anymore is because he's a war guy, right? He goes to war and he comes back and he's got all these bad thoughts and everything. But Will Smith teaches him to see the field. It's this narrowing thing. It's just the hole. He doesn't see anything else, and it zooms in, right?
Yeah.
You can even go Happy Gilmore, right? Hey, go to your Happy place, Happy, and it's beer, his chicks in lingerie. His grandma's playing the casino and winning, right? But it's the crazy thing is it actually works, like, in a weird way, but it takes to get there. And the more trained your mind is, the easier it is to get to that present spot. So when Happy needs that, he goes to his Happy place. When Juna needs to see the field, he has the ability to do that. And it's funny because you think about Scotty Scheffler. I read an article about him, and in Golf Digest, you guys can, for any big watch, you can find it. It's May 28th. His guy's name is Luke Kerr that wrote it. And Scotty Scheffler said, one of the most, I'm most impressed with my bounce back ability when I make a bad bogey, because it's very rare for this guy. He's the best player in the world. And he was very proud of that stat, the stat that he had the ability to bounce back from a bogey or a bad hole. And he goes on to talk about the mental game a little bit in there and how important it is. So I think, in regard to Mental Edge Golf, it's a really great program that will start you on the right track and help you to become a better player and to be conscious of the mental game, because there's so many players that don't even think about it. I even have friends who are scratch and they're golf pros and they haven't trained it for 1 millisecond, and maybe that's the difference between being a +2 or +3 and a scratch. I don't know. But I just know it's my game. And if Scotty's saying it, then you should probably at least think about it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just in general, I think that kids were
Yeah.
a
I
unique
know
target
for a
for
fact
us in
that
the
you
way
start
that
working with some golf academies up
school,
in
we all
Canada,
learned about Shakespeare
and
and
with
how to
junior
stop,
programs
drop, and
as
roll if
well.
you're on fire.
Can you
No
tell us a
offense,
little
I haven't been on
bit
fire
about
yet. I don't know if you
how
guys
the
have, but they
juniors
don't teach
react
meditation
to
in
these
school. They
kind
don't
of
teach mental training.
programs
So
that
we
you're working
thought,
with them?
this is a very easy way to implement it into an academy. So what we've seen is we have a speaker, and the kids sit around the speaker, and they sit on the putting green or wherever there's a green space, and they just listen and concentrate. And the results are good. They feel better. They like the game more. They're calmer. It's just something different to think about. That's really what this comes down to. If you're training every day on something, it'd be like reading a book. If you read a book for 90 straight days, you might start a novel because it's a habit, right? And that's really what we want to create with Mental Edge Golf is lifetime mental health advocates and being conscious of your mental golf game in general. And that's what this program does. So we've had good results. Right now I'm talking to the LPGA actually. I had a meeting with them yesterday, and we want to bring this into some of their facilities. They have 637 different academies, obviously tons of golf pros. So I was really excited to meet with them. I have a couple of former DP World Tour players that are we're in talks with to try and bring them on to be an affiliate with us. So it's all exciting stuff. For me, like I said, I used to make holes and greens, and now I don't know. I don't know if I've yelled in the last 10 years. I'm just very very calm. It's because I've been present about making my mental health better, and I think this is an excuse using mental edge golf to get into that point in your life. Now's the time to start working on something you've never even thought about, but it's unbelievably important. So for the academies, they love it. I'm hoping the LPGA and us can form some kind of partner to bring it on, and that would be great because there's a million girls in their organization. And again, if you want to talk about anxious, depressed, the younger generation is having the worst, and I think it's because of the technology. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but I think that we can all agree that there's some problems with that in the world, and we're just hoping that we can just take a piece away from that and provide something nice like mental golf. So
Yeah. Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Lucas.
But you
Men are
think
not
the
as open
women's
to it.
are more open
Women,
for
I
this kind
find,
of
are more
training
empathetic. I
than
mean,
men? Because
I don't know.
from
I don't know
my
if there's
even
stats behind
perspective,
it, but
right,
they're,
when I've discussed with a
the
lot of
women take
people
it in easier. They
from my
understand it better.
golf neighborhoods, and the guys are not open for this kind
Men,
of activity, right? This is the same
I don't
like
know. I mean, we're all guys. We know
talking
we're
about
like
the
right deep.
yoga, right? It is
So,
almost
but
the same way, the same way.
yeah, women do too. But again, if Michael Jordan said, this is how you hold your hand on the ball, I'd probably listen to him if I liked basketball. Scotty Scheffler's telling, look at Tiger Woods. He talks about the mental game all the time. Jack Nicklaus talks about the mental game all the time. If we're just talking golf and you take golf seriously, even somewhat seriously, you definitely need to look into it. This isn't now if you're a beer and pot smoker,
We know
sure,
how to
yeah, you're
live. We
having
know how
fun,
to live.
you're
You know?
loose, you're teeing it up in your buddy's butt crack, so to speak. That happens all the time. I see it every day. But for the guys that are serious, want to get better and care about themselves, yeah, you'll like the program. But to answer your question, yes, men don't take it seriously. They don't meditate as much, do much yoga. They're not in touch with their emotional side. If you ask a guy, hey, do you want to go to therapy?
Yeah.
He's gonna say no, trust me, because he thinks it's I'm not gonna say things, but you know what he thinks. Whereas the women, they love therapy. They love talking about their feelings and problems, which is great. It's healthy. And yes, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, guys don't see the vision, but some really do though. The guys who see it. The guys that don't. But yes, women take kindly to it. Yeah, 100%.
No. No.
Yeah,
Mm.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
want to broke this rule and
Yeah.
open for guys the mental and meditation even, right?
Yeah.
And in most cases they understand. Patrick, how often did you meditate in the past before
I
your game?
actually never meditate, but for sure had my routine about mental practice and everything, and I had my routines and my happy faces and stuff like that in the bag, and I have my morning routines and stuff like that also. So I think if we go back a little bit, I think it's more about why men doesn't embrace this as fast as women does is actually because we feel it a little bit as a weakness for ourselves to actually to start working with these kind of programs, because I need to address myself and exploit myself in a world that I'm not familiar with, and that's the biggest issue, I think. But it's when you start working on the mental side of your personality and also in the game of golf, the experience is unbelievable, and you're able to become more present, I would say. That's the biggest advantage of it all the time, and you're not flying away in your minds back and forth, and you're actually, because I remember I could stand on the tee box and think, oh, don't hit it in the tree. Then from that tree, you're going to do a double or even worse. And your brain was starting to just thinking bad thoughts and bad outcome of everything. And instead of being here and now, because the shot is not made yet, so nothing has happened, and then just working with your routines but it's difficult. It's really difficult when you're in the process of on the downhill. It's really difficult to get out of it, but there are some tricks and fixes that you can do, and the more you work with it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, that's right. But from my perspective, I want to say in a different way, right? Because when you are trying golf, right, you know you are slicer. Then your teacher always told you that you have to set up your position a little left, right? But of course, if you see left, you see the lake. L and is L, right? The lake on the left, and of course you have to be on the left. And then you think, no, when I hit on the left, then I push the ball in the right way and directly into the lake. And what's happened in your mind, how to improve those minds, right? In that way, in the present. Because before you can prepare, but how you should prepare during your shot or even the few milliseconds before.
Yeah, but Lukas, you just explained, you're thinking about the outcome again if you change the position of the tee box.
Yes.
or the aim or whatever, and you were thinking of the bad things that's going to happen, not actually creating the shot that you need.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm asking. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Jared, you are black. Little. Your screen is black. You disappear.
Still hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you, but do not see you.
Okay, I got the camera on. I kind of lost you guys for a couple seconds there, but as long as you can hear me, I think we're okay.
Oh, all right. But then I have to draw your face on the blackboard.
Yeah, do a caricature.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of heard what you guys were saying. I think, you know, when you got the water on the left, you hit a slice. Now you're looking at the water because now you're setting up there. But Patrick said it best. Now you're not thinking correctly. Now you're
Yeah.
thinking water, right? Again, I'll just use my own round, the best round I ever played. I had thoughts, I had swing thoughts come into my mind, and that's when I clawed it. So it's the same thing, I think when you talk about resetting your mind to the best of your ability, it's very important. But again, I watch the PJ Tour religiously. It could be a guy like Patton Kazire. The guy was trending really nice on the fourth round in the Phoenix Open. I'm serious. He was 3 under on his first. He was 2 under on his first 3 holes, playing a par 5. He's got 230 into a green. He hit it like 100 yards right and doubled.
Yeah.
He never recovered. He was even. He ended like +4 in the round, and he was playing great golf to start. All of a sudden, the guy loses it. One bad swing costed him, I don't know, probably 30, 40 grand, because he couldn't reset. Instead of, trying to make par after the bad swing, it just out the window. And we're all like that. It doesn't matter if you're on the PGA. It doesn't matter if you're an amateur, a new golfer. We all have the same fears.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Patrick said it best, now that thought has come into your mind. It's hard to control your thoughts. But again, the more you do this, the more I personally meditate. When you first meditate, you're going to have every thought come into your mind. When you're an expert meditator, you maybe have, you'll still have thoughts, but it's easy to shuffle them away.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start to know that you've reached a point where I'm trained now, and I'm getting better, and this is better, and life's better. I'm more present. So again, that's the importance of the program, because that's where you want to get to in life. And we're talking golf, but let's just talk life. That's where you want to get to in life, because you're going to be faced with hard situations here in all facets of your life. This is just one tool to help you through that. So.
Yeah, but it is something like a toolkit a little, because there is some question in my mind even when I start going to the tournament and somehow, right? When I should meditate before, right? The 1 hour before or the day before should be enough. This is quite tricky. When you should focus, right? Where you should start focusing on the first tee, or before you're staying on the first tee.
I don't think there's a right or wrong with that. I know what you're saying. I think we've personally seen the best results when you're practicing. So if you have little earbuds in, you're hitting your shots, maybe you're concentrating on one thing. Like as an example, the off the tee portion of it is 5 minutes, right? That's the initial, that's the beginner stage.
Yeah.
If you're hitting long irons at the range, maybe you listen to that one next. If you're going to go to the putting green, you're listening to them all. And you eventually, once you've listened to them enough, it becomes like ingrained in you. And that's what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about your boss owing you money. You're not thinking about your girlfriend partying at the club at 3 a.m. You're thinking about what you're actually supposed to do. That's the thing. Because in my head, I think about all those things all the time. But when I'm trained, because you'll get trained on this, it becomes easier to concentrate because you're trained. It's like going to the gym, but for your brain, right? When you first go to the gym and you curl those weights, you can't even move your arms for the next 4 or 5 days. But once that's your 6th month doing it, well, now I'm curling 40s, 50s, and it doesn't hurt my arms anymore. I'm trained. Same thing. It works the exact same way. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys are still sore. I still get sore too, but.
Yeah. No, I think Luca's question is actually about he wants to take the easy way and just preparing 5 minutes before the tournament and listening to some program. But what you need to realize that you need to put in effort in as much effort in this as when you're hitting ball on the range and practice golf. You need to train on the mental side as well. And there's no use just doing it once or twice. You need to do it regularly to actually be better in it.
Yeah, but I saw a lot the people with the earbuds in their ears, right? And they're listening something, but the results are not okay after, right? And then if you see someone to make a lot of efforts, made a lot of efforts before starting the round, and the score is okay, then you think, oh, this coaching method is really, really great, right? Because the score are low and they hear something before. Then the mental coaching is working, right? But before this, it's something like a proof. How we can prove that this coaching is correct.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I think when those guys you're seeing tee off, I think they're listening to rap music. I don't know if they're listening to Mental Edge Golf or, Beethoven or Vivaldi. I'll tell you that right now. The second thing is it's how you feel, right? Like I said, if I feel nervous over the ball, then it's not working. But if I feel calm the whole round, it worked. It doesn't matter if I shot 75 or 85. Those scores will come to you. Just like Pat and Kazar blading into a forest. It's not his fault, but if he just reeled it back in, his score would have been better, but he didn't. And I don't believe he got the Ernie Els yips in one swing. I don't believe that. The yips are real, but I don't believe that. I think he lost his cool. Now he doesn't care anymore. We've all been there. Anytime. Yeah. So I think, number one, they listen to rap music. Number two, it's how you feel, Lucas. If you feel present and good during the round, then it's working. Will the scores always be better? No. But will they be better? Yes, 100%. Because if I reset on the third hole, the 12th for me, and I made bogey, well, maybe I might be sitting here with my little ball on a little trophy saying, I finally broke par, but I didn't. I cracked, and that's just the way it is. I felt bad the rest of the round. I couldn't reel it back in. And that's what Scheffler has talked about in his article. He's really, really good at reeling it back in. Really good at it. Yeah, is he the best player in the world? Yeah, he is. But he's really proud of that specifically. And I think when we're talking about the actual skill in the score, I don't think it's a magical fix. But it's just like going to the gym. Are you going to look like Arnold after the first 3 rounds? No. But you're going to look better than you were before. And that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but but I have the one thing more, because when you are even feeling good at the before you hit, right, then you crop the next shot. And what about your colleagues in your team or even in your flight? They're all the time talking to you. It will be better next time. Don't worry, right? You shouldn't be so pissed, and sometimes it is not helping you. What you should do?
I mean, well, it depends, right? Again, this comes down to I'm just going to ask you a question. Have you read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle?
Mm-hmm.
Have you, Lucas? Have you read that book or no?
No.
Okay. I recommend it to everybody. It's my favorite book. It's hard to explain because it's a little complicated. We don't have that much time for me to try and explain it because it's even complicated for me to think about. And I've read the book 10 times. But again, your buddies, telling you to do this, whatever, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah.
I think the reason golf is so great compared to other sports is it is very, very stop-start. You're not playing hockey where you don't have time to think in hockey. You better use your talent and your subconscious mind to make a pass and make a decision because it's quick. Golf, you hit a shot and you have 3-4 minutes to think about the next one. It's what's in between the ears when you're going up that next shot. Because if you are truly present, and this comes with training, you're not going to worry about your buddy being you suck at golf. You're this, you're that, you're fat, you're skinny, whatever the guy says to you. Okay, you're going to be trained. That's the whole purpose. You are trained to concentrate. You're no longer bothered. But it takes time, right? This is not a quick fix. Hey, I'm going to listen to one track and, 68, 67, I qualified for the U.S. Open. It's not happening. But like working out, you're going to look better and you're going to feel better. The more you do it, and your result will get better. You're going to get stronger. The brain is the same thing as a muscle. It needs to be trained. The only problem is nobody trains it. We all go home, we doom scroll. And I'm not going to say what else we do on the phone, but you could probably guess. And it's not good for your brain. And that's the whole point of the program. The whole point of the program is to make you present, make you conscious, and improve your game where you have not trained for 1 millisecond of your life.
And of course you told us about the youngest players, and you, Patrick, asked about the same, about juniors, right? And of course you are talking about the deadly swiping, scrolling your phone after you came home. But of course it is killing us, right? There is a lot of information outside in the world we are living now, and how we should focusing on even on the mental coaching program, right? Then you have to be conscious around, I don't know, the 15 minutes and talk and think about nothing. This is really hard today, right?
It is, that's I think that's kind of why we brought out the 5-minute series, because the original series was 22 minutes, 27 minutes, 17 minutes, 12 minutes. It's too long. For a guy that's seasoned like me, it's not too long, but for somebody that's starting out, it's too long. 5 minutes is nice and clean. It's easy, it gets you in the habit, and it builds, right? Just like going to the gym. Again, you're not going to, squat 400. You can squat the bar, squat your body weight, then you move up slowly, right? It's the same training as you would do with your body. So with the juniors, they're perfectly fine with the 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after, and we give them a lifetime membership free so that they can work on it with their parents at home. Because again, we're trying to, it's beyond golf, right? We're trying to create more present human beings that feel better in general, and the science backs that, and that's why it's important. So,
and I mean, it's just about taking a decision. Also, like for you, Lucas, take 10 minutes of your lunch break and focus on and listen to these things. That's going to help you a lot. Just 10 minutes a day. And just decide when I'm going to do it. Am I taking 10, 15 minutes out of my evening, or am I doing it during lunch break or in the morning or whatever? And you need to take a decision to start train. That's the first thing you should do. And that's with everything. If you don't hit golf balls, you're not going to get better. And that's also a decision you make. So,
and now everybody knows that I'm not meditating and I'm nervous. I thank you very much.
And also you're a bad listener on the golf course. You never listen.
Oh, no. It's sometimes I do not want to listen, right? Because I'm really focusing on the game. That's the reason.
I have a really fun story. It was last year's PGA show, actually, I think it was. Lucas, me, attended the show as visitors, and then we met up with Anders Forsbrand, the former Swedish European player and Vice Ryder Cup captain, and played on a golf course up in Alabama with him. And Lucas was so focused on an application where the green was in the application, how far it was to the green and so on. So he actually hit in the wrong direction into the second hole green instead of a 10th green.
It was because you've told me the last time that if you was young, then you are playing from different tee to different green. Then maybe I thought about this. I want to be better than you. Or
It was so fun because Anders and I walked to the right and you walked to the left, and it was like 300 yards in between us.
Yeah, but my ball was on the left,
Yeah, and
I
it was
have
on the
shorter
green.
way, and I had the shorter way to another green for sure.
Yeah,
But that was the fun. And what about if you're this kind of situations unfocus a lot, right? After, because sometimes it's a funny, and if I told the great of the greatest guys in your team laughing at you, right? And you think it was really funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was really funny.
what should you do in that situation? If you must laugh because it was hilarious, and you were focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But maybe sometimes I think about that's my problem, and I think this is not only my problem. I'm thinking too much, right? About how to play and where you should play. Sometimes, of course, the golf courses are not helping you if you are first time somewhere. But this is the quite interesting. You are thinking too much how you should play, where you should play. It should be much simpler, right? Like driving a car. You know how to catch the wheel, how to push how to enable the engine on or something. But
Yeah.
golf is not so easy to understand at the beginning for most of players, because everybody thinks that it is only the hitting the ball and finishing in the hole, and that's it, right? And then you keep your scorecard in your hand and see 5 times 8.
Totally, yeah. I mean, the driving the car, that's all subconscious, right? You have your coffee, maybe you're changing the song, like there's lots going on, but you're still, you still made your destination, hopefully. Usually you do, right? But again, yeah, it's what Patrick said, it's you have to be consciously training, it's like getting a university degree. Just because you have a degree now doesn't mean you know everything about business, you know everything about kinesiology. You always have to get better. And if you don't, then I'm not trying to sound like Luke Rockhold here, achieve, believe, and all that. But you that's my vision in life. I always want to get better. How do I get better? Well, this is a tool you've never used that will make you better. So but it's work, right? Instead of listening to that rap music like the guys you see at your range, you probably should listen to Mental Edge Golf if you want to get better. It's not going to do you any harm. So, and it takes work. That's the hardest part. If you watch Family Guy late at night, you're not going to fall asleep. But if you watch a learning show, you'll fall asleep in 2 seconds. Just how the brain is, right? So.
Yeah. So I actually have an idea. We're going to put Lucas into the program, and in 6 months we're going to have the next podcast with you, Jared, and then we're going to focus on Lucas' accomplishments.
Yeah, it will be my proof, right? That's right.
I've never been more excited. I want to watch his first round. I want to stream it, and then I want to watch his 6-month run. I've never been more excited for anything in my entire life.
Yeah, I think when we publish this video, then I for sure will publish my swing or my club when I throw away my club during one of my rounds. Then you will see, and it shouldn't happen again, right? And for sure we have to put the link to the book you've proposed. Because it should help our listeners to understand something.
I would love if you did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will be even quite interesting because I see behind me the screen and the whole session we are talking. There is, take a look, no signal out there. Then I think that was the great talk guys together.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to close out. My first memory of golf was Jean Van de Velde, right at the British Open.
Oh yeah.
up, right? And I was 7 years old. My dad's like, you'll never see this again. I'm a kid, right? But there's a perfect example. He drew a good lie on the second shot, but he chose to try and hit it over that berm, and then he chunked it. Then he's taken his clothes off. He's in the water.
Yeah.
He could have probably hacked out, put it to the front, maybe got up and down for 5 or 6. He wins the tournament. But because he lost concentration, you think he would have made a 7 if he was playing with me, you, and Patrick? No, not a chance. He probably would have parred it at worst, right? But again, that's where the pressure comes in. That's where feeling good comes in. That's where the training comes in. I'm not saying he didn't train, but I see Matt McCarty quadding. I see Pat Kazire. I see Hao Tong Lee bogeying his last 8 out of 9 holes. Like, there's something going on here. And this is the first step to becoming a better player. That's really what this comes down to. It doesn't matter if you're a 30 handicap that goes in wax and you got needles from the pine trees all over you. You might as well just pay rent in the woods. That's a bad you are. But then there's Scheffler telling you it's underrated. It's his favorite stat about himself is his bounce back. So what does it say, right? And who's training mental golf here? Not a lot of people, right? So
no.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
True.
And of course, this will be a quite interesting thing here, or thoughts, Patrick, because Jared is unstoppable with talking. Then we have to go back and do it one more time this, because there is a lot of topics undercovered. And of course we should do the same after my half a year of teaching, right? Training. That's right.
I'll tell you. I'm interested to see your scores, but I'm interested to see how you feel, because there's a lot of people that, like you said, men specifically. There's a lot of. Do you guys watch that '70s show or no? You know what I'm talking about? With Red Foreman, right? He doesn't like to talk about problems, right? He's like, oh, hey, Dad, are you angry? He's all, like he doesn't talk, right? But the woman will tell you how she feels, right? Has a woman ever told you guys how she feels?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. And how often you are told this, right? In most cases, nothing, because everything is okay. It's almost like American guys asking you how are you, right? And everybody say, oh, fine, thank you, and that's it. And this is quite interesting.
Yeah, because it's not true. I always just say good, but in my life could be in complete shambles, but I just still say good because I don't want to talk about it. Whereas a woman, they will express to you. So that question holds a lot of truth, Lucas, because it is true. They're very open to that. We're not. I'm not either. I like to be closed off. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna fester in my own head. Leave me alone. Okay.
Yeah, but now, guys, we are talking. Then we broke something. That's right. And if you are even talk this about this, you're open. We are now the mental coaching you.
Yeah, we've evolved.
The process is starting.
That's right. That's right.
Together.
That's right. Then thanks, guys. That is a good talk, if I may to say it straight.
Yeah, thanks for having me, you guys, and I'm happy to work with you guys. I'm happy to create the partnership. I think it's gonna go well, and I like you guys. So it's gonna be
thank you very much, guys. Yeah, for sure. The journey begin.
Yeah.
And see you next week, or maybe in next 2 weeks. It doesn't matter.